I'm giving away this fantasy-themed mystery box. It contains merchandise from The Witcher, Game of Thrones, The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. I'll even be throwing in this Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings starter kit. So if you want to get your hands on it, stick around to the end of the video to know how. Some are predictable, gory and even cheesy at times, but we love the adrenaline all the same. Some slasher villains are extremely well known, such as Jason Voorhees and Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So let's take a look at 10 blood-filled summer horror movies to get you in the mood for this sunny season. Starting off this list, we have 2011's The Cabin in the Woods. A group of friends travel to a cabin in the woods for some relaxation time, not knowing that the cabin is actually under the control of a group of engineers. Monsters of all types come to life in this film, such as zombies, werewolves and more, and it's just cheesy enough that it works. Playing on the stereotypical horror tropes such as the glorification of the virgin and couples splitting up to have sex even though they're in a terrifying situation. The Cabin in the Woods is the perfect pick when you need some comedic relief in your horror movie night. Coming in at number 9, we have It Chapter 1. It Chapter 1 is the embodiment of summer horror. A group of kids on bikes, a terrifying clown, an 80s aesthetic and a newfound family. What more could you ask for? The beginning of the film opens with the devastating murder of 6-year-old Georgie, who falls victim to Pennywise the clown, who returns after 27 years. The group spend their summer fighting for their lives and working to defeat the clown while also trying to enjoy their break from school. But in return, they are traumatized for life. At the end of the movie, they all make an oath to come back in 27 years to take down Pennywise once and for all, leaving you excited to watch part 2. At number 8, we have 2002's Cabin Fever. A group of friends are in need of some fun and relaxation, so they head up to a cabin in the woods, not knowing what's in store for them. One of the friends, Bert, decides to go hunting for some squirrels but accidentally shoots a hermit who is infected by his dog's blood. The hermit ends up in the major water supply for the cabin, and one by one, the friends start to become infected, delirious and downright nuts as the infection spreads and worsens. The ending will leave you feeling dismayed and shocked as no one really gets a happy ending and the vacation is downright ruined. And at number 7, we have 1977, The Hills Have Eyes. If you're planning a cross-country trip with your family and plan to take some back roads, maybe you should watch The Hills Have Eyes before you make that big decision. This genuinely scary film targets a suburban family on their way to Los Angeles, but they never make it as they come across a group of cannibals. Big Bob, the father of the family, is the first to die and it's an awful sight as the cannibals crucify him, and then the rest of the family is taken down as the movie progresses. The family of cannibals are a creepy group and they'll have you making sure your doors are locked. And they'll make you take some main highways on your summer road trip, not wanting to be stranded in the middle of nowhere like the Carter family was. And at number 6, we have 2022's X. A group of friends heads to a farm in the middle of nowhere intending to stay on the property that belongs to an older couple and make a few adult films while they're there. In the span of 24 hours, several people die. The deaths are gruesome and you'll feel like you'll need to take a shower after watching X. The blood and genuinely the act of filming the adult films will make you feel downright grim. Jenna Ortega is also a knockout in this film, giving the audience a wickedly good horror scream. And Maya Goth's performance as both Maxine and Pearl is fantastic as she plays two wildly different characters. Here at the halfway point, we have 2018's Summer of 84. If you've seen movies such as The Goonies or Stand By Me and you wish to have a summer adventure that leads to you and your friends being closer than ever, then you're not alone. Then you should give Summer of 84 a good watch. In Cape May, crime is usually non-existent, but in the summer of 1984, multiple young boys start going missing, and the film follows a group of friends who are determined not to be the next victims. They band together and decide to launch a full-fledged investigation into these missing kids. The film will leave you rooting for these kids and devastated when not all of them make it. At number 4, we have 1983's Sleepaway Camp. Without giving anything away if you haven't seen it, but it has one of the best plot twists not only in horror but in film history altogether. It's considered a cult classic now, but it wasn't easily accepted when it first came out with audiences. Angela, our main character, is brutally bullied at her summer camp and receives a lot of torture from different campers. While she's trying to have a good time and make it through the weeks, a killer is on the loose, taking out different camp counselors one by one, each death more brutal than the last. When you get to the end and the killer is revealed, prepare yourself to fall off the sofa because yes, this one is dramatic. Taking the bronze medal is I Know What You Did Last Summer. A group of close high school seniors prepare to head to college and lead successful lives, until one night they take a drunken joyride around Southport, North Carolina and end up hitting someone head on. They dump the body of course and decide to split up as they head to college and take different paths, overcome with guilt in different ways. A year later, in the next summer, they start to receive strange messages from an unknown sender, all stating relatively the same thing, that they were going to pay for what they did last summer. A man with a hook goes after the friends and they have to band together to try and survive the summer. Just missing out on the top spot, we have 1974's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre was very influential in the 1970s, and it was actually the first horror film that I ever watched. A group of friends are on a road trip, and after spotting a hitchhiker, things start to go downhill rather quickly. They stumble upon a house in the middle of nowhere, and instead of driving by continuing on their way, they decide to investigate and mess around with the property. There they come into contact with Leatherface and his messed up family, and they get picked off one by one until there's one lonely survivor. There have been several installments in this popular franchise, but the original reigns supreme. And topping off this list, we have Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th has to be at the top of this list because it has everything you could possibly want from a summer slasher. A group of camp counselors who are left to their own devices a few weeks before the campers arrive quickly become targets of an unknown killer. One by one they are slaughtered in brutal ways, such as Bill getting his throat slit and impaled several times by arrows. The twist at the end is a classic and sets up the franchise perfectly, as do the numerous movies to come after the original. So that's my list. Let me know what you thought about it and let me know in the comments below who's your favourite horror character. And if you want to win this fantasy themed mystery box, all you need to do are these 3 simple things. Leave a like on this video, comment on any of my videos, and subscribe to my channel, and one lucky random subscriber will be announced on the 31st of July. You can even hit that bell icon to keep up to date with my latest uploads and giveaways, such as my comic book giveaways every fortnight. And before I go, I just want to say a big thank you for watching. If you like this video, then make sure you smash that like button so it can get recommended to other people. So with all of that being said, I will see you in the next one, but until then, take care.